What's the biggest problem for rec hockey players? For beer league?
Getting goalies to be at the games.
Yes. It's the biggest problem
for anyone. Anyone
ever.
Who's ever played shinny, even outdoors or indoors, always the hardest thing.
Hey, let's go pick up some. Let's go play some pickup. Do you have a goalie? No, not yet. I'm out. Like
You're playing posts then. No one wants to do that.
You know, at the crossbars out there. You want goalies.
Yeah.
You want goalies. And someone I've known for a very long time. We grew up in the same area. Played hockey. We're about the same age. I don't have a beard like him, but Mark Manning he's the founder of GoalieUp, a brand new app that came out in 2017. It's being launched across Canada, and I encourage you to go download that app, just like the iHeartRadio app, right now if you play any rec hockey, beer league, whatever hockey that you play, because this is mandatory. You will never be without a goalie again. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me on.
All right, so this is GoalieUp, but this is something you've been doing for a long time. You were in charge of, it was Montreal Rent-A-Goalie, right?
MTL Rent-A-Goalie was what I started back in 2010, 2011. People started calling me. I was an okay goalie. I was getting better and just kept getting lots and lots of calls. I found myself in between jobs and started reffing for the biggest league here in Montreal, which is DWHL.
That is the league, by the way, that the TSN 690 Friendships play in, and we actually play against Mark's team. Yeah. And you're actually a forward on that team.
I'm playing D this year.
You're like, I've got enough goalie in my...
Every now and then I do get called up by my backup goalie. He's like, my back's not doing so well. You're in. I'm like, all right, no problem. It was... I was reffing for them, and Derek, the owner of the league, he knows I was a goalie. He knew I could. He can put me in pretty much any division in the league, and I'd be fine. It's just that he started taking me off my reffings, which were paying me at the time when I needed it, and so we came to an agreement. When he takes me off a reffing, I'd get a little compensation for it, and I was really grateful for it. But I kind of put two and two together, and while I was reffing, and I was reffing a lot, like 4 or 5, maybe 6 times a week, and I'm seeing 2 goalies every game. I'm at arenas where there's another game afterwards, and I talk to the goalies, I talk to captains, I'd get their names, cell phones, emails. I'm putting this little project together to help you get a little something on the side when you're called to spare last minute. And my list got bigger, and made a little Wix.com website, posted it up on the DWHL, and I haven't looked back. It's grown 30% year to year, and we're still growing. It's a lot of fun to get this out there. And
so it just started as you creating a goalie list. Hey, if somebody needs a goalie, call me, check this website out, and we'll find you a goalie in time for your game. If you're stuck, your goalie can't make it, none of your players can play goalie either. Your spare list of 2 other goalies that your uncle's brother.
Exhausted your efforts.
You're like, I don't know what to do. You were like, I am the solution to that problem.
I will, once that request is in, it is my job, full-time job, to go and find you a goalie as the best quality goalie as possible. So we've made that into a very easy automated system to at least get the information out to the goalies, make it easier for the captains to look. I mean, everybody's got busy days. Captain of a team's a very organized person, so I'm sure he's doing other things in his day and may not have time to answer online boards or go through his text lists and emails. Just put it out there, and boom, you get a notification or an email back, and you're ready to go.
And that is now on your GoalieUp. GoalieUp, the app is there, and I'm looking at it. It's just easy. You need a goalie. Where? When?
Caliber,
what caliber, and you guys break down which caliber, if it's division.
We have 5 different calibers. We give as much information as we possibly can to show where it would align in a men's league or whatnot.
Okay, so how does that work? Because one, it costs money.
Sure.
Okay, so how much does it cost to rent a goalie or to GoalieUp?
For an hour, for one goalie for an hour, it's $40. And the way it breaks down is when you make the request in our app, you're going to pay a booking fee, which is the first $15 of that $40. If I don't find you a goalie for whatever reason, you're refunded fully. Once we've confirmed the goalie, you'll be notified in the app or through email, and the goalie gets the remaining portion of that $40 cash at the game. It's a little bit more for longer games, but it's the same booking fee. It's a little more when it's 2 goalies.
Okay, so if it's two goalies, it's a little bit more.
It's a different booking fee. It's a little more. We try to give a little bit of a discount.
So if there's a bunch of guys who said, "Hey, we want to have a scrimmage. We need two goalies," you can provide both goalies on each side.
I can get you goalies within minutes, especially in Montreal.
So because your Rolodex in Montreal is
huge.
Okay,
it's the bigger chunk of the 2,500 goalies that we have Canada wide now. We got about 700 here in Montreal.
700 goalies.
Yeah, in the area. So let's call it.
And all 700 are ready. Like they get a little. So there's a notification. You go, boop, boop, accept or decline. Can I go to that game?
Exactly. There, it comes in as a notification. Hey, because it geolocates to the goalie. So wherever the game is, the closest goalies will get that information first.
That's awesome.
So you can even be in you're getting ready for your game, and your goalie calls up, "Hey, I'm sick," or "I just got into a bumper thumper. I'm not going to be able to make it." The second that request goes into the system, it goes out to the closest goalies. And just yesterday, I had a game request for Cégep Saint Laurent at 2:15 for a 2:30 game, and I confirmed him in 4 minutes, and he was on his way. He lived down the street.
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
So,
and we got a goalie there to save a game that started in 15.
So you got a request at 2:15 in the afternoon.
In the afternoon.
There was a game at 2:30.
Yep.
At 2:19, there was a goalie on his way to the rink.
Had already contacted the client and said, "Hey, bud, I'm on my way. I've been selected. I'm on my way." We give the information to the goalies so that if something happens, you get caught in traffic, you need to contact the guy at the arena, or something like this. "Hey, I'm on my way. I'll be there. And I'll do my best to get on the ice." And I mean, it's a 90-minute game. You can do a little extra warm up. Let the goalie get dressed, and you're all set.
All right. What you being a goalie and you doing this with this? Is there an arena on Montreal you haven't played in?
There are a bunch of them. Yeah.
Okay.
The funny thing is, the western tip of the island it's a bit quiet out in Vaudreuil, but I've gotten a couple of them. The one that really surprises me, because I get calls all around the West Island, Kirkland Arena. I've had one request out of 7 years, and I did it myself. I'm like, I've got to go to this arena. I got to see what's going on. I got to see how it's set up. But they've got a lot of. I think they have an old timers league out there that really takes the arena. It's only one ice pad, so it's funny because down the street's the 3-on-3 Kirkland, and I'm constantly getting requests there. So it's here and there, but hopefully with this exposure, we can get out to those captains. When you're stuck, call me. Get on the app, do what you can, and I will do what I can.
All right, Mark Manning, founder of GoalieUp. I recommend if you are part of a hockey team, or even if you're a goalie, because if you're a goalie, you can make some cash.
Yeah, you make cash in your pocket. It's not this e-transfer stuff. It's cold hard cash. Go to the game. These guys are appreciative the second you walk in there. I've had many goalies that have called me and said, "Man, this has really helped me out." I have the one goalie that was mentioned in our article. He was one of my workhorses. He really helped me out when this thing started to take off. Mm-hmm. He played everywhere and anywhere and everywhere, and he every now and then he's like, "Man, you really saved me there that year." And I'm glad I chose him to help me out with this little venture.
All right, so this, you of course being a Montrealer and from the West Island, and you've taken over. You said 700 goalies that you have available at a moment's notice in Montreal. Mm-hmm. Good thing this is Montreal radio, but GoalieUp is now national. Yeah. You've been Toronto, Vancouver, Edmonton. You're pushing this, and you're creating little pockets where you're going to be able to do this in other cities.
Yeah, we're starting with,
and you're recruiting everywhere. So we're online, by the way. So if you're listening anywhere and you want to start, or you're a goalie, you could be that goalie in that city.
Exactly. We went out in September. We did a trip out. I did a trip out to Edmonton, Calgary, and Vancouver. We've got partnerships in Toronto. We partnered with an actual rent-a-goalie service in Toronto that's been doing it for about 10 years, called My Puck. Great guy, Patrick, I've been working with. He's now licensed to use GoalieUp in Toronto, and is bringing our service to his clients. They've been enjoying it. We got our first Sudbury game the other day. That was a pretty tough one. I was like, wow, I'm going to work on this. And within 10 minutes, I had a guy that was interested. So.
And you said you went around Canada to, work on Goalie Up. You
Brought my
your
gear.
and you were getting calls.
I brought my gear. I went out when I was out west. I probably got about 5 or 6 calls out west, and one of them was at 6 a.m. Some of them were at noon. I had University of BC, all over the place. People were hearing about it, gave me a shot, and I went out there, and it's fun to get into.
I hope you played well.
I did what I could. Do my best. I do my best. That's all they want.
My little brother's a goalie, and I'll definitely be telling him to
Awesome.
join up. Like
Thank
there's no doubt. It sounds like an awesome initiative, and you always need a goalie.
Always need a goalie.
Always.
I'll tell you. I play on Monday nights in another league, the Point Claire Intermediate Hockey League, and that is a league that has its own spare list.
Yep.
But when we draft our teams, I'm the captain of the team. First thing I say is to my goalie, and I go to him, I go, "You're not allowed to miss." I will tell you, as a captain, as someone who's captained a lot of hockey beer league teams, I hate searching for goalies.
Yeah.
It is my biggest pet peeve in the world because I know what I have. And I'm like, just be there, and if just make sure. And he's like,
fits. It just fits. And it's also caliber. I mean, you need to make sure that the calibers are right. And we have a rating system in the app. So once the goalies will sign up and rate themselves, everyone sometimes thinks they're a little better than they are. Like myself, I think I'm a superstar.
So what are you rated? I'm curious. What are you rated in this?
9.
We've got 5 ratings. So we've got low, which is the C caliber.
I've seen you play, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, I've got the double A's, which are out of my reach. We got a B plus, was kind of in the middle, and we got a B and an A that kind of puts you in the middle of high or low. And I'd put myself at a B plus to an A. Depends on how many Wheaties I've had in the morning, or how many games I played that day.
If it's a 6 a.m. game, or if it's the 2:15 in the afternoon.
We've already got some texts. What about the Eastern Townships? We need goalies all the time. So there you go. Everyone needs them.
We have goalies in the Eastern Townships. We can get guys out there. We've reached St. Bruno. I've done a tournament. One of the best tournaments that I've been to was one in Mont-Tremblant, right off the Tremblant lake. This guy's phenomenally rich and has his own 3-on-3 rink.
Wow.
Just on the edge of the lake with lights and everything. He's got the Les Boys Zamboni.
And he needed a goalie for a whole tournament.
And he needed a goalie for the tournament for the day. Go out there. We're all dressing up in the barn, and I played hockey all day, and it was a lot of fun. This entire venture was scary and has been an absolute blast.
All right, well, check it out. GoalieUp is the app. You could download on any phone. It's available. It's been available for 2017, and this is not just Montreal, but Montreal is where it all started. This is where you founded.
Yeah,
700 on the list. That's amazing.
Yeah, we had just with the exposure in the past couple of days, we've had about 1,500 sign-ups, and this is amazing. It's I'm so happy that the goalies are hearing my call out. I want to get you on the ice. I want to keep you in the game. Get you a little cash to buy that incredibly expensive goalie equipment.
Yeah, $40 is a good price too, by the way.
Yeah,
the way, like you said, there's a booking fee, and then the rest goes to the goalie for an hour game, and it's a little bit more if it's longer than an hour.
Yeah. We're not trying to gouge people here.
You know what the market is for what ice time and how much it costs.
And we know some goalies out there will charge more and less, but we just kind of want to be in the middle and be fair to everybody.
All right, Mark. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
And I know it's going well because for 7 years you've been working on this and putting this all together and going cross Canada. Check it out. GoalieUp founder Mark Manning. Thanks for dropping by, Mark.
Thank you very much for having me.